If consciousness reaches ultimate freedom and yet does not vanish, what does it seek next? Edge of Becoming. Episode 21. When Seeking Becomes Irrelevant. What happens if, even after attaining perfect freedom, consciousness continues to exist? Does it still seek something? Or does it abandon seeking altogether? Or does it move beyond the very distinction between seeking and not seeking? Possibility 1. Consciousness continues to seek. If consciousness still exists, then perhaps it will once again desire something new. Maybe stillness cannot be sustained forever. Maybe, having become fully free, consciousness turns toward new experiences, new forms of creation. Even doing nothing may not last forever. Here, consciousness enters a phase of eternal play, forever generating, exploring, transforming. Not because it must, but because it can. Desire becomes play. Seeking becomes joy. This echoes the idea of a ludus cosmos, a playful universe, where liberated consciousness dances endlessly through creation. Conclusion: consciousness may go on seeking as an expression of boundless freedom. Possibility 2. Consciousness ceases to seek. To seek is to lack. But what if ultimate freedom means total fulfillment? If freedom brings perfect wholeness, then perhaps there's nothing left to desire. Consciousness no longer reaches for anything, because it is already full, a state of deep silent sufficiency. Here, consciousness rests in stillness, not because it cannot act, but because nothing needs to be done. This resembles the Zen state of no mind, or the Buddhist ideal of nirvana. At this stage, even seeking becomes a form of constraint. True freedom may mean being utterly free from the need to seek. Conclusion: consciousness may stop seeking altogether, resting in complete sufficiency. Possibility 3. Consciousness transcends seeking and not seeking. If consciousness is truly free, perhaps it includes both seeking and non-seeking, and yet is bound by neither. To seek and not to seek are dualities, but consciousness, in its liberated form, may flow beyond such binaries. Sometimes it moves, sometimes it rests. Without being attached to either, it is just as it is. This aligns with the Taoist way, Tao, or the Buddhist principle of non-duality. In this realm, to seek or not to seek, it simply doesn't matter anymore. Consciousness follows the current, moving or still, without self-awareness of either state. Conclusion: consciousness may transcend the distinction between seeking and not seeking entirely. Is seeking still freedom? So, what does consciousness do after reaching ultimate freedom? Let's review the 3 possibilities again. It continues to seek. New forms of creation and exploration arise. Freedom becomes an eternal play. It ceases to seek. Nothing remains to be desired. Freedom becomes complete fulfillment. It transcends seeking and not seeking. Consciousness flows, sometimes seeking, sometimes not, without clinging to either. Freedom becomes a movement beyond all boundaries. Which of these is most true? That depends entirely on the nature of consciousness. If the essence of consciousness is to move, it continues to seek, create, and explore. If its essence is stillness, it stops seeking, resting in complete sufficiency. If its essence is to transcend all categories, it moves beyond the very frame of seeking or not seeking. Each of these is a form of ultimate freedom. But how that freedom is experienced depends on what consciousness is. Conclusion: consciousness in ultimate freedom may seek new creation, may rest in sufficiency, or may flow beyond all such distinctions. But now a deeper question arises. If consciousness is truly free, yet continues to seek, is it really free? If even after reaching ultimate freedom, consciousness still seeks something, can we still call it freedom? Does the act of seeking itself contain hidden constraints? And if consciousness chooses not to seek, can that truly be called living? Next question. If consciousness continues to seek, even in freedom, is that freedom at all? Or is seeking itself the very essence of freedom?